What's up, everybody? This is Rich Beam, the 2002 PGA champion, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the first ever Bunkered Podcast Live, presented by Eden Mill. Before we get underway, can you please make sure to switch your phones to silent, remove any white belts, that's a must, and set fire to your iron head covers. I mean, seriously, who uses those things? I have plenty of friends that do, and we do set fire to them. Now sit back, relax, and welcome your hosts and my buddies, Bryce Ritchie, Alex Perry, and Mr. Michael McEwan.
Wow. Woo! Wow. You actually showed up. I can't believe it. There's people in the room. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. Welcome along to Drygate for the first ever Bunkered Podcast Live presented by Eden Mill. Wow. Amazing to see you all. That's amazing. Honestly, it really is. So my name is Michael McEwan. As you hopefully know, you might recognize my voice. Don't know if you maybe seen my picture before. So I am indeed the small one. Bryce over there, the tall one. Bryce Ritchie, ladies and gents, a round of applause, please.
Evening all.
And those of you who listen to the pod regularly know him as Token. It's the newest member of the Bunkered Podcast, all the way from... where? England? Yorkshire? Don't think we've figured this out yet. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Perry.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, what a fun night we have in store for you. And listen, it couldn't be possible without our friends at Eden Mill. Absolutely brilliant to have them on board supporting us. 2024, Eden Mill, I don't know if you're aware of this, but they're going to open an iconic new distillery on the banks of the Eden Estuary, on the same site as the old Segi distillery, and it will be visible from the 9th hole on the old course. That is pretty cool. So make sure you go along and check it out. And as you can see, we've got some Eden Mill products on the desk here as well. I hope you enjoyed your welcome drink as well when you came in. So yeah, thank you. It's great to have you here. It's great to be on stage at last. We've been planning this for a good few weeks.
Too long.
Yeah, too long. Bryce, now I actually haven't spoken to you about this, and I don't know if you even remember this far back, but you once told me when I started with Bunkered that you were in a band once upon a time. So is this living up to that experience? Of what were you called? Habit?
We were called Habit, yeah. We headlined Mulgai Town Hall.
Wow.
I was the lead singer and lead guitarist.
Excellent.
Yeah,
and
we were terrible.
Actually, I think there might be some Habit fan in this evening. So
That's the fan over there.
That's a drummer.
And Alex, I mean, you're obviously rocking the Ed Sheeran kind of vibe. I see that I have you down as like a singer-songwriter sort of thing. You know those god-awful songs that these guys write, like, I love the way you fold the blankets. I could see you in that role.
That would be me, yeah.
That would be
But I'd be stinking rich, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
To be fair,
all.
Michael, you have turned up tonight dressed like a member of the Green Brigade.
I have, and that is my first mistake of the evening,
Exactly.
to be fair. So let's look at both teams, but let's start with the losers first, the United States of America. I mean, again, there's no real point in going through it all session by session, although we could. But let's just jump straight to the outcome. Bryce, you've never been a man that's shied away from an opinion about a losing captain. So what did Zach Johnson get so badly wrong? And
Jim Furyk.
Well, yeah.
It's a disaster. I genuinely, I can't think for the life of me why he would want Jim Furyk on his team.
This is how not to do it.
This is, yeah, he brings nothing. He's got one of the worst Ryder Cup records of all time. He's been a captain or been a vice-captain in 12 Ryder Cups and lost 9. He must hate the Ryder Cup.
Well, let's ask him now, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Furyk.
And I was absolutely howling yesterday because he did an interview on TV. I think it was for Golf Channel, and he came on, for some reason he came on with his wife, which I thought was kind of weird as well. And he came on with his wife, and he came on with his polo shirt and his hat on. to do this a Zoom call interview, and he defended everything they'd done. And this is what he said. He said, our 12 players showed a lot of heart on Sunday. I'm not going to say this week was a failure. We're going to have to look forward to Bethpage and regroup. Changes in the team room? No. He said, Jack Johnson did a wonderful job. He was a great captain, a great organiser. He gave the players the freedom to be themselves. I thought, that is a lot of pish.
It is.
That is genuinely, no joke.
So
that
he's
is
saying he wouldn't have changed anything
no,
in the team
it's
room?
complete garbage. But what was absolutely hilarious during the call is that during the call, the US national alert went off on his wife's phone. And you think, that's a sign. Quit the Ryder Cup. And it's hilarious because he's the President's Cup captain.
Yeah, next year.
So he's talking about the Ryder Cup in 2 years, looking forward to Bethpage. Sod that. You need to do this in 12 months.
Yeah. Going forward, then, the US, I mean, what do they need to change? Because I think it's always the same after a Ryder Cup when you lose. There's no such thing as a good losing captain. There's no such thing as a bad winning captain, or so we're led to believe. Last time round, when we got battered at Whistling Straits, I think the knee-jerk reactions were all there. I know I was contributing to it, but we need to rip it up. We need to think about new things. I called for the reintroduction of the Seve Trophy. We got the Hero Cup, which, all right, it's the Seve Trophy, but someone has to pay for it. We got Luke Donald finally as captain after, by the way, how bad would Stenson have been? I don't think he would have done as good a job as Luke Donald did.
Jesus Christ.
I just don't think he would have.
You have no idea. Would it be rubbish?
No, he's right.
He would have been
he's
shit.
right.
It wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been as measured. He would have been making jokes.
It
I
would
just
have
don't
been
think it would have
joke
worked.
after joke, yeah.
Making jokes.
It would have been like Faldo. I was going to say Faldo on steroids, but there's a thought. Let's get all lawyers, please leave the room. So I mean, we do this thing after every loss. We examine forensically what the teams need to change going forward. What does the US need to do differently at Bethpage? I mean, where do they go from here, Bryce?
They're going to get the benefit of home advantage, which is going to suck. But I genuinely think they need to look at playing more golf beforehand would be a good start. What was it, 9 of the 12 didn't play 5 weeks before a Ryder Cup? I'm going to say, how can you possibly go into a Ryder Cup and say you're taking it seriously and play no golf in 5 weeks? A bunch of the guys went on a stag do.
Did Rory not go on a stag do, though?
Yeah, but he played in the BMW
he
with
played.
their
Fair point.
potential pairings, and they did that twice.
Yes. Yeah, good point.
So you've just got to say, as I've said before, they do not take it as seriously as the Europeans, and they were hinting at that. Jordan Spieth made comments in the presser about, maybe we need to look at some things, and then he kind of said, maybe we don't. You're like, what is it going to be then? But them moving their schedule to suit the Ryder Cup. Remember, the PGA Tour, they don't care about the Ryder Cup. They don't own it. They get no money from it. That's why they invented the President's Cup, so they could start to make money. And I genuinely do think the President's Cup has harmed the build-up and getting the drive in the players to get ready for a Ryder Cup. Because every 12 months... there's Rory getting all excited, in 2 years and 2 years and 2 years. He's got nothing to do in 12 months. Mm-hmm. So I think they're going to have to look at their schedule. But really it comes down to, if they want to win and win well, are they going to take it seriously? Which comes down to the PGA Tour. It's not the PGA of America.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, you're right. The guys not playing for 5 weeks and then rocking up thinking they could win is mental. I mean, most of our guys, I think all our guys played at Wentworth, didn't they? Others played the Irish Open, others played the French Open.
And they've
So
been,
they were all
and they've
paired
been to
together.
Rome
together.
as well the week before. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a monumental blunder. Alex, do you think there's anything else that they need to change apart from clearly getting rid of Jim Furyk once and for all?
They just need to work out how to deal with that cauldron, really. They clearly don't like travelling away. We had that whole thing with Bubba Watson a few years ago, didn't he, where he made some French people very angry by not
He
knowing.
referred to the Louvre as that building that begins with L. And then he spoke about having his picture taken at that tower thing. That would be the Eiffel Tower, Bubba. He's well-travelled, isn't he?
I have not heard that before. That's
not?
genius. No,
It's
that's
so
amazing.
good.
That's Bubba Watson
But
for
they just don't like. It's really strange as well because they come over here and like clean up at the Open almost every year. So they like doing that, but then they come over for the Ryder Cup and for some reason, I mean, look, they don't have a team mentality and that's fine, and they need to get over that really. Mm-hmm.
They do. What are the bright, positives that they can take out of it? Max Homa's clearly
Homa,
won,
yeah.
isn't it?
The fact that Ricky Fowler's probably played his last Ryder Cup.
I feel sorry for Fowler. Fowler had a great year, and then he had to go to the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, Homa, and they've still got Justin Thomas. They've got incredible players. They need a captain to galvanise them.
Mm-hmm. Who's that captain?
We're not going to go there yet, are we?
Okay. Did they miss the live guys? Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, Taylor Gooch, the others. Did they miss
the other
those guys?
You have to think that Dustin Johnson would have made the team.
Bryson.
Had he played, and Bryson DeChambeau would have probably made the team. If I'm an American, would I prefer those two in the team over, say, I mean, again, I really like Ricky Fowler, but I was very sceptical about his pick, and, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but we've been proved right on that. But would I have preferred him over, say, even Brian Harmon, who actually did all right? DeChambeau and Dustin Johnson were the big misses there. But Zach Johnson kept wanging on about team harmony. He's so desperate to have that European-style team harmony that he didn't want the live guys. And again, we were talking about his mistakes earlier. He didn't even go and watch any of the live golf stuff. He didn't follow it. When people told him about Bryson's 58, he just sort of went, "Oh, has he? That's pretty cool, yeah." And horrible captain, terrible captain.
I mean, that is just
One of the worst
duty.
for a
That's
long
not right. I mean, Bryson DeChambeau, whatever you think of him, he's played incredible golf this year. It's a ridiculous question to even ask that he wouldn't have made that team better. Dustin Johnson, unbelievable last time round. How can you not have him in the team? But he quite enjoys being out in the boat, doesn't he?
He seems to, yeah. I wouldn't mind being out in that boat
would like
too,
to
be
be on
fair.
that boat as well.
Patrick Reed.
No, because he disrupts the team room. He's literally hated by everyone in that room, and he hates all them. Because he keeps suing them.
Yeah, sued all of them.
And his wife hates them.
She really hates them, doesn't she?
And they all hate her.
Pat Perez.
Pat Perez. Pat Perez, the only way he's going to get to a Ryder Cup is if he buys a ticket. No, it's Pat Perez.
Did you see his wife's thing today where she said that she would never tire of watching Rory McIlroy get punched in the face or something?
Yeah, that was just a bizarre thing to say, wasn't it?
What a thing to say on Instagram.
Absolutely. Well, yeah.
She's really lovely.
Ashley Perez, isn't it?
Ashley's lovely,
Ashley,
yeah. If you go into,
She seems very stable and grounded.
Yeah, they're really nice. If you go to she's on her Instagram. I don't know if it's still there. They get stories, and they've got this video of their house, which is this garish monstrosity on a hill. And you walk in, and the welcome mat says "fuck you."
Yeah, it does. It actually does.
And you walk in the house, and they've got this huge dining table. This huge dining table is absolutely massive, and it says "fuck you." So no, he's not getting any of the team.
I think you should be the next American Ryder Cup captain, Bryce, because you seem to have all the answers.
I do better than Jim Furyk, who I hope is the next Ryder Cup captain. And to think he's coming out this morning on TV with his wife, which makes me think,
oh, being lined up or something.
That is going to happen.
Justin Thomas, there's a lot of controversy around his pick. I'll be honest, I think he vindicated it. He played 4 matches, he won 1, lost 2, halved 1. So on the face of it, 1.5 points from 4 is... Yeah, your word, shite, basically. You know you're in Glasgow when you get shite.
Shite.
Yeah. But yeah, 1.5 points from 4 is shite. However, he was saddled with Jordan Spieth for 3 of those matches, and Spieth was absolute dross last week.
Awful.
So I give Justin Thomas a little bit of a pass on that. He won his singles match, I think I'm right in saying, didn't he? And he just seems to get it. Like, he really buys into it. I thought the tipping of the invisible cap got really old very quickly.
It was funny the first time, and then second, third, fourth, fifth. Like, why are you still doing it?
But surely, if everyone loved the American Ryder Cup team as much as he does, imagine, Bryce, that there were 12 Justin Thomases on Zach Johnson's team.
Well, I said that. If they had 12 Justin Thomases, we'd be in real trouble. Because he genuinely cares. It's just, you don't manufacture that. It's in him. He wants to win. He hates to lose. What I don't understand is that why some of the way he is, why doesn't rub off on his teammates? Because he's best pals with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is another guy who hates the Ryder Cup.
You surprised Tiger didn't show up at any point last week? Because there were rumours.
Nah, he's not that bothered. I know Zach Johnson said he really had a lot on his plate. He was really busy. Would love to know what that is.
Changing the locks.
Again, for legal reasons, we will move that swiftly on, shall we?
We can think about it, though. Not like that.
Easy. Alex, were you surprised that there was no Tiger last week? I know you wanted there to be Tiger Woods when we were sitting in the media centre.
I mean, that Ryder Cup needed something to ignite it, and I think we're going to talk about it in the second half, but we got the moment that ignited it. But for the first day or so, we were just like, we need Tiger to show up or something to happen, because this is just, it was dull, wasn't it? Like, it's wonderful watching us win, but we said in the Ryder Cup preview pod, we want Europe to win, but we want it to be close. Like, we wanted it to go, I mean, actually, it was on the final day when you and I were just watching that scoreboard, and we were like, oh, as it stands, Hatton's going to hold the winning putt. Oh, it's Fitzpatrick.
You were doing it. I was trying to do some work, and you kept going, oh, as it stands. I don't know why you're from that part of England, but as it stands, Hatton's about to hold the winning putt.
And suddenly we're put. Suddenly we got to Fleetwood, and we were like, Jesus, this is going like this. It was getting quite uncomfortable, but no.
At one point, it looked like it was coming down to Bob Mack as well, didn't it?
If Tiger had showed up, it might have actually inspired them to pull their fingers out.
Right, we've covered the US enough. We're going to go and take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about Europe, what they got right, and we will also be throwing it open to you guys. There will be chances to win some prizes. So we want you to go and top up your drinks, go to the loo, whatever you do, just don't leave. You look on your desks, there's a flyer competition there as well. Sign up to that and you can win some Ryder Cup merchandise. We did actually bring it back for you. Anyways, honesty box, you'll see that we've left some things on your desk, on your tables. Write some questions on it for us, stick it in the box, and again, there's a prize to be won there. We'll be back in about 15, 20 minutes. We'll see you soon. Thank you very much, ladies and gents. Hello, hello. Oh my goodness, you all have a good break? You all get stuck into the bar? Get some Eden Mill down you? Excellent, excellent. Welcome back, part 2. You'll have noticed, hopefully, our little Eden Mill sign here, full of Easter eggs, that thing, so come up and take a look at it at the end if you don't mind. One of them down there has got the number 269 on it, because, as it turns out, that is Mr. Tiger Woods' hotel room number when he stays at the Old Course. 269.
Wonder what happened in that
Make your own jokes up. Welcome back, ladies and gents. I want to tell you about the Golf Gin from Eden Mill, a botanically rich spirit with ingredients inspired by coastal golf courses from Scotland's east coast. It tastes absolutely sensational. Seaweed from the shore brings a subtle sea spray salinity.
Say that again. I dare you.
Drink a glass of it and say it.
If they hadn't paid so much for it, I'd wonder if they were taking the piss. let's seaweed from this.
She sells seashells.
Here we go, third time lucky. Seaweed from the shore brings a subtle spray salinity. Yes!
Yes!
Pine and lavender, the all-important ones, add a layer of grassy floral complexity. Scottish heather gives it a heady finish. Oh, part two. Have we got an honesty box kicking around? I was meant to pick that up,
just
but
on the floor next
it's
to
on the floor next to me.
Go.
It's full of questions. We'll get to that shortly. Right, let's crack on. There's still loads to discuss about the Ryder Cup. Europe, the champions. Ole, 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 ole.
Right.
Wow.
It was better in Rome, I'm not going to lie. Right, what did we get right? Because, once again, we got it very right. We've spoken about how the US ballsed it, but Bryce, what was the big thing for you in terms of how...
The US ballsed it.
That was also the expression they used on Golf Channel this morning. I thought I would just steal it.
Yeah, they didn't have Jim Furyk, so they had the right people in the background team. Jose Maria involved, I think, is genuinely huge. He's He's the sort of current Sam Torrance. You know, Torrance has taken a wee bit of a backseat with the European side now. But his influence in previous cups has been huge because you need guys that have been there and done it. And to be honest, deep down, that's his gig. That's his world. He lives and breathes it. And I genuinely think Olathaball's the same. I thought a masterstroke, which we learned in the aftermath of the week, that Donald did all his emotional stuff at the beginning of the week and not at the end. Previous captains have done it at the end, where, you know, the Thursday night they've shown them a really great video and they're all, oh my God. And then they got to go on the first tee. He flipped that, and I think he did, you know more than me, I think he did it on the Monday night, wasn't it?
Monday night, yeah.
And he did, tell us about what...
It was messages from his family.
Yeah.
Their families.
Because did Rory not get quite a heartfelt message from Harry, his caddy, who clearly you don't want fired?
Ever.
But I think
Job
that's
for
quite
life, Harry Diamond.
But he put a bit of effort into that, Donald, and that is genuine teamwork. And Azinger, go back to Azinger's interviews because he's clearly the mole. He said you went to the US team room and it wasn't inspirational at all. It was miserable. They didn't allow anyone in their team room. There was no pictures on the wall. And then you looked at what they showed in Sky Sports, Luke Donald doing a really good, piece to camera about what's in the room, and the last thing they see is Seve, and
that was class, wasn't it?
They get all those things right, and I genuinely, part of me thinks part of the tour has a team that helps with that, but Luke Donald has to put the finishing touches on it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't think he could have done a better job.
I'm actually laughing about what the American team doing is going to look 30 years from now when they walk in and it's just Jim Furyk's polo shirt in the far end. That's what you're playing for, to not be like him. Alex, the whitewash on Friday morning. And by the way, I think we have to give Luke Donald some kudos for having the guts to go with foursomes first. Because not since 1993, which was the last time that we lost to Americans on European soil, had we started with foursomes on this side of the Atlantic. And even Paul McGinley, when he was speaking on Golf Channel about this during the week, and he said that, he'd been encouraged to go with, or rather, he had it in his gut that he was going to go with foursomes. He said that he wanted to put Stevie Gallagher out in the afternoon on the first day at Glen Eagles, but ended up having to put him out in the morning because they stuck with four balls. And he thought, well, I don't want to have him playing foursomes or alternate shot as a welcome to the Ryder Cup. And then, of course, we didn't see him again till Sunday, and he regrets that. But Paul McGinley basically admitted that he just, there's no other way of saying it, that he shat the bed a little bit and just said, right, fine, well, it's not broken, so we're not going to fix it. We'll stick with what we've done. Luke Donald was different, Alex, wasn't he? He said, we're going with foursomes first.
Like, fair play to him for stepping up and doing that as well, because he could have quite easily fallen back on that 30 years ahead. I like saying it. But
we like saying it as well, mate. It's 50 now.
How good was that in Jordan Spieth's presser when the guy from The Sun said 30 years ahead, and I was like, Jordan Spieth doesn't know who Frank Skinner is. What are you doing? Like, this is ludicrous. But I don't look. We all thought it was over after that was how we felt in the media centre. I don't know how it felt for the guys back at home watching, but that whitewash, or blue wash as we were calling it, in the morning.
You were calling it that, and I see you're persisting.
It's going to stick.
Yeah.
But we genuinely thought it was over. Like, we genuinely sat there thinking, well, let's just write our reports now. Let's just go out and enjoy the golf. We don't need to do any more work.
Bryce actually did, by the way. You might not know this, but Bryce wrote a piece, which is on the website now, and he absolutely savaged Zach Johnson. I mean, proper in there, two-footed. But you wrote it on Friday.
Yeah, actually, I wrote it at.
I wrote it
kind of 6:30 on Saturday morning because I was inspired at the scoreboard. But no, it was.
But it was over, wasn't it? It was over at that point. Come on.
Pretty much, yeah. It was, and kind of ruined the Saturday. The Saturday afternoon was a bit of a comeback. At one point, it looked really good for us. It looked like it was going to be hugely embarrassing. They were having conversations on the Saturday morning about we could win this today. That's ridiculous at Ryder Cup. But I thought it did sort of ruin the spectacle. And the reason they do well in the singles is because they are on their own. Yep. They don't have a foursomes partner. They don't have a four balls partner. Foursomes doesn't actually suit the US. these days because they're not. I know they say they're playing with pals, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win. There's the fighting attitude that they don't have. They don't have that do or die attitude that Europe do. Europe seemed like a galvanised side. The US are not. But the Saturday afternoon, things sort of changed. But the whitewash itself, what a laugh.
Like, was it Schauffele or Morikawa just getting humped for like the second straight match? And I was like, can you miss the cut at a Ryder Cup? Because this is just like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Luke Donald's captaincy overall, I mean, give me a round of applause if you think Luke Donald did a good job. Says it all. He was absolutely unreal, wasn't he? And let's not forget, he had only 12 months to prepare after Henrik Stenson went to live. He had less time than any other captain in
That's a very good point.
memory,
It's
isn't
mad to think that he was second choice. It's also mad to think that he may never have done it, because if we think that Stenson was going to do it, then and then we kept having it rammed down our throats that it was going to be Sergio and Poulter and Westwood next. Like Luke Donald, by that point, Luke Donald's in his 50s, and the last two captains I think who were in their 50s were, I want to say, Harrington and Faldo.
Yeah,
and they
done. You come and take his seat.
and they went well. So it's
Donald was
astonishing
also
to think
pissed
that.
off that he didn't get it.
Yeah.
You know, he was genuinely annoyed that he didn't get the opportunity. And I think it says a lot about the type of guy that he is, that when the Stenson debacle happened, which is, when you think back on that, that is hilarious. What a mad state of affairs. But it says a lot about what type of guy Luke Donald is when they said, would you do this? And he said, yeah, well. And then 12 months
he was the best
later,
ever.
he's been one of the best ever. I mean,
The best ever.
Yeah.
The best ever? What do we think? The best ever?
Come on.
Oh.
I don't know.
You've just split the
Let's name
respect.
let's name some names. Come on then. Who's
Every
better?
Who's better
captain.
than Donald? Let's hear it. Shout out some names. Torrance, McGinley.
McGinley said Luke Donald was the best.
Jacqueline in the corner here is correct.
Jacqueline, okay.
did a lot of crazy things.
I thought I heard an Irish voice go, McGinley, and I think it might actually been him.
It can't be because he stopped talking.
With great momentum going into the Sunday singles. I think the thing with Luke Donald that impressed me the most was just how calm and composed he was throughout the entire week. And that came across just so clearly at the opening ceremony. Bryce, you alluded to it in the first part when Zach Johnson stood up, and he gave a great speech. He did, and he spoke bits of Italian. It's kind of funny when you look back on it now because of how good a job Luke Donald did. And I interviewed Donald at the Scottish Open in July, and my last question to him, if you read the Ryder Cup preview edition of the mag, my last question to him was just a bit of a throwaway, like, so how good's your Italian? And he's like, oh, well, it's all right. Been doing Duolingo, and I've downloaded Duolingo now, and I'm fully expecting to be fluent in Korean by Christmas. I mean, he was unbelievable with that, wasn't he?
Yeah, I thought it was really impressive. And you go by the speeches, that sets the tone, and that's what was quite interesting about it. 'Cause I genuinely thought Zach Johnson was superb in his speech, and I had the fear for Luke Donald. And also, the opening ceremony for once wasn't a massive cringe fest.
It wasn't, was it?
It was
no
actually
wives, noticeably.
No
wives
parading. It's the parading of the wives that they don't do. Here's my wife.
in their matching uniforms.
Here's what she's wearing. And here's my teammate's wife. And they didn't do that. And I'm wondering if they're also listening to us as well, because we slagged that off and
We
said,
did,
this is
to be fair.
ridiculous. 2023.
But yeah, Donald, I think we're giving him a massive thumbs up, aren't we?
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
So let's come to the main man himself, Robert MacIntyre. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable performance, wasn't it? 2.5 points from 3. One of only 3 players alongside John Ram and Tyrrell Hatton to go the entire week unbeaten. It's the second best debut in the Ryder Cup by a Scotsman. Just, how can you not be anything other than proud? Maybe not you, Alex, because you're English, but how can you not be anything other than proud and impressed by the debut that you made? So you first, Mr. Perry, as the neutral voice in the room. What did you make of Bob?
I'm not neutral. We've been over this. We are both Celtic. It's fine. So
It's pronounced Celtic, and don't say that again in my company.
no, look, you
2-1 Limassol, by the way. Jeez. Not great.
You talked about it earlier. Like, we saw him on his way to his first match, and he was. I think it's fair to say he looked like he was about to throw up down himself.
Yeah.
It was actually horrible to watch. He was, again, as Michael said before, so where you walk out from the media centre up to the first tee, there's like this walkway from the chipping green to the putting green. He was like the whitest man on the planet. Now I know, like, up here you're all pretty white anyway, but like he was pale, and it was
like my legs.
I think my knees were shaking for him as he was walking past. And bearing in mind, during the practice round, I don't know if they showed it on the telly, but during the practice round, I was stood to the right of the first fairway as you're looking up it, and he was on the tee, and he just hoiked it and gave us a big shout. And this ball, I shit you not, went like that, right past my face, hit like the whatever was behind me. And I was just like, this is mental. And then he came over and he was like, oh God, what have I done? He was like, he said, oh, folks, you might want to just, like, but people are standing in front of him while he's hitting his second shot. I mean, that after that tee shot, to then stand in front of him and hit the ball over his head. And I just thought, and he was struggling with his driver on the range as well. So when he stood, after you had your little moment and I calmed you down, when he stood on that first tee and he ripped it up the middle, I think it's the most relief I felt all week. Like, genuinely, it fell out of me. It was really strange feeling. It was like an unbelievable sensation because, like I said, look, I don't have the Scottish connection to him, but I absolutely love this guy. I love everything about him. I love how relatable he is. He's obviously a very nice young guy, and he's not like a multi-gazillionaire. This guy isn't set up for life, and he just wants to play Ryder Cup. I
think the thing about Bob at the Ryder Cup is that he went into it not actually playing very good golf.
That's true, yeah.
Yep. He wasn't playing very well. You would have to describe it as absolutely sketchy.
Yeah.
Which is a proper golf
Missed
term.
the cut by 6 at the French Open the week before.
So that's a bit worrying. So, and Luke Donald kept on saying, I've got faith in every 12 guys, all the guys, I've got faith in every single one of them. And he included Bob in that. So he's putting faith in Bob, and Bob knows that. So the pressure he was under to actually, not just to play well, but not embarrass himself, because he wasn't playing well. And that cauldron is unbelievable. Guys are terrified playing in that Ryder Cup cauldron. So for him to come out and do what he did, and there's no doubt for the first round, he was, I wouldn't say carried, but he was helped by Justin Rose. And I thought Rose was just world class the way he dealt with Bob.
Right.
No, unbelievably good. And that's what Europe get right. Mm-hmm. You know, they get their pairings correct. You know, if there's someone that's never been there before, maybe isn't on it, but they're all a team, and they're not going to do what Mark James did in 99 where they bench guys and they just hope for the Sunday. Those days are gone. So you have to make somebody feel part of a team. No matter how their form is, they are going to play. Mm-hmm. You have to make them, unless you're Ricky Fowler. And you get the Saturday off.
He was poorly.
So you have to make them feel part of the team. And Bob's attitude as well was just fantastic.
First class, wasn't it?
Everything about Bob is likeable, as Alex says. There's something about him. I know that he's one of us, but he's a likeable guy, and he's got a lot going for him.
So I want to read you a message that I got from one of my mates who was out watching the Ryder Cup, and he flew home on Monday out of Rome, and he sent me this message. Bob MacIntyre standing in front of me on the Jet 2 queue. I'll try and get a picture with him later, but he is absolutely hanging. And then he sends me a message a couple hours later. They've obviously landed. He says, got my photo, chatted with him on the queue to passport control. Should add, he smashed a pot noodle and a family bag of Maltesers on the flight. He's one of us.
That is how we prepared for this. So.
But we're not talking about Ludwig Oberg.
Correct,
Ober. We're not talking about him, and he was the star of the show.
Yeah.
You know, and Bob's taken that. You know, he's gone out there and delivered on the big stage, and it's unbelievable.
It certainly is. To think that when we got there, Alex, there were people saying, "Oh, you know, he'll be lucky if he only plays on Sunday potentially." You're like, ooh. And then it's like, "Oh, well, he might only play twice if he's lucky." There was an American magazine that I won't mention them because it's our podcast, frankly, and they ranked all of the players, all 24, from 1 to 24. Who do you think they put 24th? Well, I'll tell you what, Ricky Fowler should have been there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Tell you what, he proved them all wrong, and honestly, I was so chuffed for him.
I think statistically at the Ryder Cup, I think Jordan Spieth was the worst player there. By his stats, taking across the strokes gained and everything, Spieth was the worst.
He did not hit a fairway.
It was shocking.
At any point.
Shocking.
So,
Needs a pot noodle.
The controversy. We can't ignore the car park fight, can we? I mean, we were just, if you've listened to the most recent of the commutes that we did, we genuinely were about to press record in my hotel room. Alex was just putting his clothes back on, and it was that kind of week, right? And we were about to press record. My finger was over the button, and Bryce phoned. And I think I answered it like, what? And he said, I'm about to send you a video. You're not going to believe it. Rory McIlroy is squaring up to Bones Mackay. Like, right. We were just going to talk about the golf, Bryce, but fine, send the video on. Sent it over, and wow. I mean, it was one of the most extraordinary things, I think.
It was extraordinary because I had to tell my father-in-law to shut the hell up whilst I recorded it so he could listen to it. He's like, stop, what's going on there? I said, stop talking, I'm trying to film it. But no, that was just insane. And I genuinely don't think, I've never seen anything like that in my life. And we thought we'd seen it all with Rory with the T-shirt and
the ripped shirt,
yeah.
May have an anger problem.
Well, slightly, but that was scary.
And every time you watch that video, every new angle that came out, there was just something better.
It got better.
You had Matt Fitzpatrick, who just looked like he was standing in the middle of his two divorced parents arguing with each other. You had Hovland came out the background, didn't know what the fuck was going on. He was just like, just with a massive smile on his face. Oh, there's Rory just shouting at a caddy. This is absolutely normal. And
Can I just add, Victor Hovland, by the way, before we go any further, what an absolute hero he is. Unreal. I swear to God, if I got home after work and I found Victor Hovland in bed with my wife, I'd just tuck him in.
Because the Ryder Cup at that point was boring.
Yeah.
Now they're swedging in the car park, and I thought Bones
Swedging?
It was just fantastic. And Lowry was dragging it. I thought Lowry's going to get stuck in. This is going to be great. We're going to be brawling in the floor.
Shane came bouncing it over like the Ultimate Warrior running to the stage.
Yeah,
like, let me have some of these.
And then they brought some of the LaCava stuff. LaCava on the green was genuinely vicious towards Rory, which is quite surprising because he's a highly respectable caddy, not like that. And we saw a side of them that they were, and I think at that point they thought, we're not going to be embarrassed. This is going to change. So we did. It was like the Royal Rumble overnight. We just thought this is going to be fantastic.
I loved it. I can't lie. I think you can tell from hopefully listening to this how passionate we are about the Ryder Cup. I know how passionate you guys are because of the messages that you send us and the fact that engagement goes through the roof when it's on. We all love it, but we love it even more when we see that the guys who are playing in it love it and that it matters to them. I have absolutely no issue with Rory squaring up to the guy. I think it's absolutely fine. I just wish you took them. Well, that would have been better for engagement. Imagine the page impressions.
The podcast that you and I recorded that are straight after, like literally, we watched the video, we digested it, and then we hit record. And the first 3 minutes of that podcast is just me and you going, "What the fuck is happening?"
Staring at each other.
Like, what is happening? Like, this is the most mental thing I've ever seen at a Ryder Cup.
It was bizarre, and it also kind of overshadowed a little bit of the whole preamble to it, which was the Patrick Cantlay Hatgate stuff. I mean, where do you even start? I guess it's tempting to go over the ground that's already been pretty well trodden about, well, was the story true? Was there division in the team room? Wasn't there? But I think, for me, the bigger issue is the fact that, quite evidently, American golfers do want to get paid for playing in the Ryder Cup. Maybe the Europeans do too, but they don't talk about it and they don't make it into a big deal. In his press conference, Patrick Cantlay did not deny it when he was asked, should we be getting paid?
He was very dismissive about it. He was like, look, we're not here to talk about that. We are, because it's the biggest story of the Ryder Cup since Stenson got sacked, really.
Yeah.
Look, I looked it up, and apparently they get paid $200,000 and it goes to their... I mentioned this in the podcast last week where I said I think it should be something along the lines of... I said to you, I know the England football team do it. I'm sure lots of national football teams do it, where they get a certain amount of money, and then it goes straight to charity, for example. And I think actually that does happen with the Americans as well.
So they get given it for like a foundation?
I think it's $250,000, and then it goes straight to a charity. But
the Michael McEwan Foundation for short, balding guys who host podcasts.
But you're looking, but how much money do these guys need? I mean, we're talking about, like, if Patrick Cantlay wants the money, just go to Live Golf.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to come and, every single player on both of those teams, outside of, say, Højgaard, Oberg, and MacIntyre, are set for life. Their children are set for life. Their grandchildren are set for life. They don't need any more money.
But the rumour is he turned down 75 million for Live, and then he sees what the PGA of America are making.
Patrick Cantlay turned down 75 million.
Turned down 75 million from Live, because he was one of the last ones. Remember when the
what a shock he took so long to decide, eh? Never saw that coming.
So he's looking at what the PGA of America are making from it, and he's thinking, I want a piece of that.
I want a piece of that pie.
I want some of that. You know, look at the PGA of America as their new head office. It's $33 million. It's part of like some $3 billion, some £500 million resort, which is then linked to some other $1.6 billion. They are swimming in cash, and these players are playing for them, and they're getting nothing for it.
Yeah.
But it's always been like that. So why should it change? And it's changed because the golf landscape's getting greedy.
Yeah, it is.
And I genuinely don't think it's healthy. And the Europeans, I think they will take the upper hand. They won't get paid.
No.
They won't do that. But the Americans might do it if it means they'll galvanise the side. But it would be hilarious if they get paid and then pumped.
Patrick Cantlay's justification for not wearing a hat was, I can't get one to fit. I mean, to use your words, that's shite. He's had 2 years. He said it didn't fit at Whistling Straits. You've had 2 years to get someone who can make you a hat that fits. By the way, you wore one at the President's Cup. Speak to that guy and get him to sort out your caps. He was talking nonsense. So it's either money or the fact he was getting married on Monday.
Well,
just
changed
there.
his story, didn't he, during the
Yeah.
week? So it changed. He didn't tell anyone at the beginning of the week that he was getting married. He kept all that secret, or it was that he didn't want the tan lines, whatever. Tan lines.
Don't need to worry about those, eh? Look, so what next? Luke Donald, does he deserve another crack at it in 2 years' time in Bethpage? What do you guys think? Yeah? A lot of love for Luke Donald in the room.
I think the question is, who would it be if it's not Luke Donald? Like
That wasn't the question, Alex. It says it right there. Does Donald deserve another go? I mean, it's...
Alex, just answer the question, please.
It's just 2/3 down on the sheet, mate.
Who is going to do it? Like Luke Donald...
Jimenez?
Wow. What a shout.
No,
that
it's
is.
not a bad
That
shout.
would be good fun. That would be good fun.
It's not a bad shout.
Alex, if it's not Luke Donald, who would it be?
I just added that question in, did you?
Just answer it.
Go on, then.
It absolutely should be Luke Donald.
But if it's not, who would it be?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Okay, so
Angel Jimenez.
Let me phrase it a different way. Oh, I can sense the mood in the room's about to change. Should it be a Live guy? No. Paul Casey, he's a Live guy.
He's a Live guy. Got the experts in tonight. Excellent.
The die-hard golf fans.
Don't get that guy on the quiz.
Okay, how's about Westwood? Yes or no? No. Poulter? No. Sergio Garcia? No. Paul Casey? No. Jim Furyk?
There was a yes for Sergio over there. There was a yes for Sergio.
Okay. So I think we're pretty much agreed it should be Luke Donald to have another go. If you're Luke Donald, what's the appeal? Because you've just won emphatically, in great fashion, very popular captain on European soil. Do you want to taint that by going over there and maybe not winning, Bryce?
Would you get tainted, though? Like,
would it be?
Do you think of Padraig Harrington and go,
because
he's a shit golfer?
I do genuinely think Bethpage is going to be a huge shit show. Genuinely. They drink, they're New Yorkers, they're famous for being loud and obnoxious. They've already pretty much said that it's going to be one of the worst Ryder Cups ever. It'll be worse than Brookline. It will be vicious. So why would you introduce a new captain to that?
Okay, yeah.
And the Europeans will know that. And I think Luke Donald, if he manages to go over there and win that Ryder Cup, there is no argument about who is the best Ryder Cup captain ever, because he'll have done it
Agree.
in both contexts. So I think that is, without a shadow of a doubt, he's going to be the man.
Agree with that. So not that we give a toss particularly, but what about the US? Who should it be? I hinted at the question in the first part. Alex, give me a name. 2025 Bethpage. Phil, he's live as well. Trump. Did I hear someone just say JB Holmes?
But it's like, who is going to do that job? Because everyone in the backroom team is a shambles.
Yes, that's true.
Who hasn't done it in the backroom team? So Sink and Couples.
Well, I mean, you're not giving it to Fred Couples.
No.
No. Stuart Sink, that's another Zach Johnson for me.
Nothing
Perfectly
inspiring
nice
about
guy,
that.
great career, but he's
But
going to inspire
he'll have the home
but to be fair, they
advantage,
have
that's
to
the
do something different.
Yeah.
They have to do something different. It will not be Zach Johnson. So all roads do point to Tiger Woods,
correct.
who has a shocking Ryder Cup record.
It doesn't matter as a captain, though, does it?
He's only ever won it once as a player. Once. He has lifted that trophy once in his career. He's not bothered. I genuinely don't think he has been the reason that they haven't won some Ryder Cups, because he doesn't fit in. You know, he's lost, I've got it here, he's lost 21 matches.
21.
21 matches.
That's brutal.
It's brutal. So it's not, I know he's meant to be inspirational, but when it comes to the Ryder Cup, he's, yeah. He's pish.
But
And it is true.
he didn't grow up dreaming of breaking Billy Casper's USA points record. He grew up of chasing down Jack's 18.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
And that-
Can you imagine him putting in the same work that, say, Luke Donald has for the last year? Can you imagine him doing that? Of
No.
course he won't.
He's busy.
In room 269.
He's got things to do.
269, yes.
And we're all expecting him to be 2027 captain because of his friendship
Adair
with
Manor,
McManus.
yes,
and
JP
Adair Manor,
McManus.
So
Yeah, I think it's going to be
he's
Tiger back
definitely
to
not
back.
doing it twice.
So who do you think is going to be US Ryder Cup?
I just asked the questions,
He's
I don't
asked-
answer
come
them.
on.
Right, okay.
No, I think it will be Luke Donald again, because he's the best man for the job, undoubtedly. And I also think, because they need to try something different, like you say, it's probably going to be Tiger Woods. And I think Luke will absolutely outsmart him at every twist and turn, and I can't wait to see
Yeah,
it.
I can't imagine Tiger sitting down doing the foursomes pairings.
It's just so obvious, I'm not even going to go there, to be honest.
Teed you up there, I didn't even notice.
Right then, quiz time. I'm going to get you guys involved if that's all right. You may or may not have noticed that Alex Perry loves a quiz.
It does.
So,
And I hate a quiz.
so explain what's the deal here? What are we doing?
So I think what we're going to do is you're each going to get someone from the audience to play with you.
That's
Is that
right.
what we're
Team
doing?
Michael,
With
Team
some-
Bryce. You don't need to come up on stage.
With some
That's fine. I think someone's going to come and take the mic. There's Jeff. Jeff, wave to everybody. That's Jeff. Say hi, Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Excellent, Jeff.
That's a lovely reference, by the way. He doesn't look like a Jeff, does he? He looks like he's got a cooler name.
Clint.
Where's he gone? Clint.
So Clint is going to take the microphone out when it's your turn, but yeah, you explain. It's your gig.
It's not my gig in any way, shape, or form. So we'll do 60 seconds each. I've got some quick fire questions. Don't answer them too quickly because I've only got 8 questions per person.
I might not be able to answer them at all.
So we'll do it. Yeah, we'll just do quick fire, and then
Bring it on.
I've got 8 questions on Team Europe, 8 questions on Team USA. They're all from this Ryder Cup that's just
Excellent.
happened. And yeah,
Oh, I'm so glad I was there. This is going to be an absolute piece of piss.
He was
Put
watching
the phone away.
he sent 5,000.
Don't you be Googling.
You said get the timer out.
Oh, no, that's
He's,
right.
he's timing it. He's timing it.
So am I right in saying Bryce will time for me and keep score? I'll time for Bryce and his team and keep score.
Yes, we need to pick
You
partners.
need to pick
Excellent.
partners.
Right,
Who
who watched the Ryder Cup and is prepared to help us out? Throw up your hand. There we go.
Who wants to be my partner?
There's a guy at the back there with 2 hands up. That's
Excellent. And we've
That's
got a
team.
guy down here in the white polo shirt and the glasses. You can be on Team Michael.
he just looked down at his shirt. He went, "Oh yes, me."
Where's
You
it?
are wearing a white polo shirt.
It looks white from here. It might be yellow. What's your name, mate? Alan. Excellent. Alan, you're
Very
now on
Scottish
Team Michael.
name,
And at the back, where was Bryce's partner? Put your hand up again.
Who put he had two hands up in
Alan,
right in the
you've
middle here.
absolutely terrified that guy into submission. He doesn't want to play anymore. Oh, there we go. We've got
That
a
guy
hand
there.
there.
Who's that guy there now with the left hand up? Who's that?
What's your
Fraser.
name? Fraser. Excellent. Right, Fraser.
Two brilliant
And
Scottish
Alan.
names.
Fraser, you're on Team Bryce. Alan, you're on Team Michael. Just shout out the answers when it's our turn, Alan.
Who's
all
first?
right?
Has someone got a coin down here? We need to flip a coin. Anyone got a coin? Did we?
No, we don't,
No,
Bryce.
Harry's cash
No one has
anymore.
cash anymore. Anyone got a coin?
Sorry, I just got a notification on my phone that was Tiger Woods has just tweeted in for a moment. I panicked.
Just listening. Yeah, he's at the back.
Right, Bryce and Fraser, you're first up then. Fraser, just shout out the answers to help Bryce.
Fraser
if
needs
you
a
can.
mic first.
Bryce, because you were so terrible in the
Give us
preview
that pen,
podcast,
man, would you? Thank you.
do you want the Team Europe questions or the Team USA questions?
Fraser, what are you better
we'll
on,
make it-
USA or Europe?
Fraser, I think.
Capital cities.
Fraser,
This isn't the chase, Fraser.
Fraser, I think we should do America.
Fraser wants to be on Pointless.
Oh, is that a choice?
What do you think?
You choose, Bryce. I don't care.
You choose Bryce. He doesn't care.
He's very
That's the one
non-committal,
question
isn't
he's
he?
already refused to answer it.
You've just been paired with Ricky Fowler of the audience.
Right, we'll do the American team.
Right, your 60 seconds start. American team, you beauty. Alan, we've got this in the bag, mate. Tell me when. 60 seconds, start now.
How many points did Team USA score overall?
Oh shit.
12 and a half.
11.5. Who was USA's leading point scorer?
Max Homa.
And who was the USA's lowest point scorer?
Ricky Fowler.
Yep.
Name the 3 American players who did not win any of their matches.
Scotty Scheffler.
Yep, 1.
Fowler.
Fowler, yep.
Jordan Spieth.
Jordan
Spieth,
Spieth.
yeah.
Fraser's carrying you. Who was the USA's highest scoring captain's pick?
Bottled it, haven't you? 20 seconds, guys. 20 seconds to go. Less now.
Kepka.
Kepka. 2 of Zach Johnson's vice captains had previously been Ryder Cup winning captains. Name them.
Davis Love the third.
Stricker.
Which pairing was the USA's most successful? 2 points.
Time
Max
up.
Homa.
Homa and
Too
Baharman.
late.
I've started, so I'll finish.
No, you fucking won't.
Max Homa.
Homa
And,
and Harman.
thank you.
They can have that. Homer and Harmon. You'll
What do you mean they can have
you'll
that? It's a
get
minute and
just
20.
mark it.
It's
Down.
my quiz.
How many did we get?
2. 6. Not
6.
bad. Right, Alan.
6 is
It's me and you, mate.
How many seconds are we given?
65.
Do you know how to work that? Do you want me to?
I'll figure it out.
Right, Jeff's making his way around to Alan.
60 seconds.
Come on, Jeff. My name is Jeff. Right, so I'm watching that when I get home, by the way.
You nervous, Alan?
Are you ready? This is your
Very.
moment.
Alan.
You should
Alan,
be. He
what do
doesn't
you
know
do?
anything.
I'm an architect.
You're what, sorry?
Architect.
Architect. Excellent. We're going to build a victory. Some shite like that.
No.
Right, we ready?
Come on, Alan. Let's
Alan,
go.
You ready? 3, 2, go.
How many points did Team Europe score?
16 and a half.
Who was Europe's leading point scorer?
Rory.
And who was Europe's lowest point scorer?
Nikolai.
Name the 3 European players who ended the week unbeaten.
John Ram, Tyrrell Hatton, Bob MacIntyre.
Who was Europe's highest scoring captain's pick?
Oh, Bob MacIntyre. No, it wasn't. It was the other one.
Oh!
Wow.
30 seconds.
Alan, who was it?
Tommy Fleetwood.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Two
Of course
of,
it wasn't.
2 of Luke Donald's vice captains, previously been Ryder Cup winning captains. Name them.
Jose Maria Alathabal. Alan, help me out here, mate.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Jose Maria Alathabal.
Oh, Alan.
Oh, shit. Pass. Pass.
Come on,
I
Alan.
mean, you've gone way past your 30 seconds, by the way.
It's 60 seconds
Oh,
and now you're just
sorry.
sticking about. Come on. Focus, Alex.
10 seconds.
Who was the only European pairing to not put anything on the board?
Only European pairing.
Straka
To
and
not put
Lowry.
Lowry. Straka and Lowry.
No.
Who cares we won?
Time.
Were you counting?
Nicola.
No, I wasn't. I think that was 4.
Right, we'll go for it. They got that one, that one, that one, that one. Are we still not counting? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Who's the other vice captain? I've completely
6.
blanked.
You got 4.
So you got 6 as well.
Bjorn. Oh, balls.
You also got 6.
Also got 6.
No.
No, you said Bjorn, didn't he? He said
No, I didn't. Did
No,
you
he
say
didn't.
Bjorn?
No.
No,
Alan, the answer is yes.
So you got 5.
Fraser,
Bryce has won.
get in. What a night.
Fraser, for your efforts, what do you prefer, whiskey or gin? Excellent. This bottle of Eden Mill gin is coming your way at the end of the show. Come up and see us. Well done, Fraser.
Well done, Fraser.
And Alan, I'm not going to lie, this sticks in my throat because that was a mega choke, but you're getting a bottle of whiskey from Eden Mill as well. Thank you, buddy. Well done.
Well done, Alan.
It was Tommy Fleetwood and Nikolai Højgaard, by the way, was that pairing
Was
you
it?
were looking for.
Couldn't care less. Right, we will finish up, as we always do on the Bunker podcast, with our honesty box. I see that you guys have put some questions in here, so we'll rattle through a handful of those. Just so you know, we're going to pick one of these, and the winner is going to get a round of golf 4-ball.
Yeah,
I'm
why
making
not?
this up as we go along, but at TPC Balfron, we'll put you up there. So, brought out the big ones. Let's see what we have. Right. Oh, for Bryce.
You're just gonna make this up now. aren't
I'm
you?
not, I promise. Your first band Habit debuted at Mulgai Town Hall in front of about 20 people. What's the biggest crowd you've played golf in front of? That's a brilliant question.
Fucking good questions. My mum in the room. That's a good question. Biggest crowd
She's
I've
in
ever
room
played golf
2.
in front of. See the line we talked about?
Jesus Christ.
A wee bit over that.
Know when to say no, McEwan.
Now
What is the biggest
picturing my
crowd?
mum in Tiger Woods. Crowd, probably Justin Thomas at Renaissance, teed off in front of about 150 people. I was fine. For some reason, I'm not nervous. I don't have a problem with that. I did tee off in front of about 50, 60 people in Spain, playing with Jimenez, and sliced it and hit a building site
Nice.
on the side
Did
of
it
the tee.
bounce back into play?
No, it just bounced about the place. There was about 50 people, and it was a wee bit embarrassing. Next.
Did Europe missing live players actually help allowing Europe to blood new players and avoid selecting players based on past achievements? Alex.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, another live. If live guys were eligible to be picked for Europe, would any have been picked over the guys that were? Good question.
I said for a long time that I think that actually Sergio probably would have gone. I think that he's sort of played just about well enough, and I think that of the live players, I think he is the one who is record point scorer, absolutely lives for that event. I think that he would have gone.
Bryce?
Yeah, Sergio.
100%. Would you rather fight one John Ram-sized duck or 100 duck-sized John Rams?
Duck-sized John Rams.
Yeah,
there's
so
100 of them.
little, yeah.
Mad little
100
ducks.
little John Rams or one John Ram-sized duck. You could take the duck down with like one.
Yeah. I
Lethal
can't imagine
blow.
it. I mean, it's going to be strong, but ducks can't run very fast. I'd just run away. No, I'll take on the big duck.
Yeah, I'll take on the big. Yeah, because the little ones could like gang up on you, couldn't you? And just be
Chewing
awesome.
your neck and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's America's version of Seve?
They don't have one.
No?
No, I don't.
That's one of the reasons they don't have there's no inspiration for them. Genuinely, they don't have that. Seve is the inspirational part of the European side. They don't have that.
In 30 years' time, whose shirt are they going to be hanging up in the American team room?
Which of the Team Europe rookies has the best chance of winning a major?
No disrespect to Bob, I would have to say Ludwig Oberg looks the real deal. He looks very special, and the respect he gets from his peers who say what he does in the range and when they see him going about his business, he's quite scary, I think. And it wouldn't surprise me if it happened next year, but
Yeah.
it's a big ask. I mean, what for a guy that's never played in a major championship to go in and play in a Ryder Cup, so he's going to be, if he gets to the Masters, it's going to be the weirdest thing for him because it's like, oh, this is all right. Usually people are shitting themselves, but he's been there and done it before. So, yeah, probably
I mean, speaking
him.
from experience of playing Augusta, it's nothing to be scared of. The same person's written in the back, folk are wearing golf clothes tonight. come on, call them out. As long as there's no white belts, right?
Who's got golf clothes on? Have you come? If you've come straight from the course, it's okay. Otherwise, have a word.
Anyway, look, we have actually now gone over time. That's it. That's us done, ladies and gents. The first ever Bunkered Podcast Live presented by Eden Mill is in the books. Thank you all so much for coming. If this is the last one we ever do, at least it was the best one. If not, listen, we'll probably do another one before the Masters. We might go to London, Manchester. We'll throw in a party bus and bring you guys down because you have been absolutely amazing. So give yourselves a round of applause, please, ladies and gents. Thank you. We're going to be sticking around for a little while yet. The bar will be staying open. We're going to go backstage and do that whole thing where you towel off and go, oh, yeah, that was really good fun. Well done, guys, and high five and so on. And then we'll come out and join you for a drink if any of you are going to be sticking around. Massive, massive thanks to our friends at Eden Mill once again for supporting this evening. We couldn't and wouldn't have done it without them. And that is it, ladies and gents. From the stage, from Bryce, from Alex, from me, and from the whole team at Bunkered, thank you so much for coming along. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.